Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Teachers. My name is Tamara. If you've never practiced with me before, um, uh, today we do flow and be still. So we do about a 15-minute talk and meditation practice, and then a 30-minute flow. So the intention that we're focusing on this week is the intention of allow. I thought a lot, as I do with all of our intentions, I thought a lot about kind of what would follow. So last week's intention was surrender. And I was thinking about, okay, well, what can follow surrender, right? So last week was all about, looking inward. We did a lot of work with our heart chakras, right? Looking inward, listening to our inner selves and what our inner selves are telling us that we need to let go of. And we did a lot of work in our practice around that. And so it came to me that the next thing that I feel like I needed to work on was I've made all this space, right? I've let go of all these things or this one big thing or whatever it is that no longer serves me. What do I now want to allow to come into that space that that thing was taking up in my life? Whether it's, I let go of expectations for what I was going to supposedly accomplish during self quarantine, right? And so if I let go of that expectation that I have to do certain things every day or be, productive every day, what can I now allow into that space? Whether that's rest, right? Maybe I need to allow more rest. Excuse me, my allergies. Maybe I need to allow more rest into my life. Maybe I need to allow more meditation into my life. Maybe I need to allow more time for contemplation in my life. Whatever that is, that's what we will be focusing on this week. And so the quote that kind of came to me as I was thinking about what I wanted to say around the intention of allow is one of my favorite quotes from Thich Nhat Hanh. So Thich Nhat Hanh is a Buddhist monk. He's Vietnamese. He's very well known. Lots of books. If you've never read any of his writing or heard any of his talks, I highly recommend that you look him up. But one of his most famous quotes is, "There is no lotus without mud," right? So what does that mean? That means that you have to kind of go through the dirtiness, you have to go through the grief, you have to go through all the pain in order to see the beauty. And so we've done that, right? We've done that in our practice over the last 2 to 3 weeks, right? We had an intention of grief where we really sat with and acknowledged the grief that we may be experiencing at this time in our lives, right? We allowed ourselves to feel that grief so that we could then the next week surrender to it, right? And then let go of it, right? Surrender to whatever is happening in our lives so that we are no longer prisoners of that, right? We're no longer prisoners of that grief. But what often happens is that people just end up in this cycle of grief, surrender, grief, surrender, grief, surrender, right? I'm upset about something and then I let it go. And then I'm upset about something else and I let it go, right? But there's a key component, right? That's what he's talking about with the lotus. The lotus, right? That beautiful flower is the reward for going through, for actually acknowledging and feeling all of those things and letting go of them. The reward is the lotus. And that's what I think of as the allow, right? We've made space for something beautiful to come into our lives. We have to actually allow that to happen. We have to be open to receiving, right? So as I said, last week was all about, right, closing in. We did a lot of prayer, kind of bowing in. This week is all about opening out, right? How do we open ourselves out so that we can receive what we really want and allow that to come into our lives, right? So often we think that we are allowing beautiful things, right? But if you're constantly having negative things come into your life, right? If you're constantly experiencing pain and suffering, it's because you might have kind of gotten into this cycle of expecting that. And when you start to expect that, then you're going to receive that, right? But if you start to expect greatness, right? Expect beauty and allow yourself to be open to the possibility that those things can happen in your life, then the universe will send those things to you. So as we practice today, our meditation as always helps us to recenter ourselves, find stillness, find quiet, so that we can actually know what is it that I want to receive, right? I've made space, right? I spent time allowing myself to be still. So what do I actually want to have come into my life? That space that I've made, that I've let go of things that no longer serve me, what do I want to have replaced that pain. What is my lotus, right? What is my beauty? What is my joy that I can bring into my life? So we're going to meditate. So if you have been sitting cross-legged this entire time, you're going to want to uncross and recross your legs in the other direction. You might want to shake them out a little bit and recross in the other direction. If you are using the playlist that I provided from Spotify, you can go ahead and start that playlist now. And just find a comfortable seat on your mat. That does not have to be cross-legged. It can be one leg out. It can be both legs out. Whatever is a position that you can hold for an extended period of time with relative ease. And then when you've found that position, go ahead and bring your hands down by your side. If it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. Otherwise, taking a soft gaze at the ground. And just allowing yourself to reconnect with your body. You may want to rock side to side to allow the hips to just release down, making sure that you're not leaning in one direction or the other. You may want to roll the shoulders up and back a couple of times. And then just settling here. Feeling the hips as they root down into the earth. Feeling the belly as it rises and falls. Letting go of the belly if you're holding it in. Letting it be soft. Feeling the air as it comes in and out of the body. As the belly expands and contracts with each breath. Not trying to control it, just noticing it. And finding any places where you can soften. Letting the shoulders relax down the back as the arms become heavy, feeling the weight of the hands on your lap. Letting go of any tension in the arms, in the hands, in the fingers. Swallowing a few times to release any tension in the throat. Letting go of the mouth. Moving the jaw from side to side to let go of any tension there as well. Letting the face be heavy and long. And on each inhale, scanning up the front of the body to the crown of the head, noticing anywhere that you can soften. And on each exhale, sinking down deeper into the earth. And now bringing your attention to the breath, noticing the inhales and exhales. Not judging the quality of the breath, just noticing as it comes in and out of the body. And you may find that the mind at some points begins to wander to other things. When that happens, you acknowledge that the mind has wandered and you simply bring your attention back to the breath. Not judging yourself, just acknowledging. And as we move into about 4 minutes of silence, you'll continue that cycle of noticing the inhales and exhales, acknowledging when the mind has wandered, and coming back to the breath. Bringing your attention back to your body. You may notice that your breaths immediately begin to deepen. You may notice that you sit up a little bit straighter if you've slumped over during meditation. Bringing your hands together at your heart. Bowing your head towards your heart, lifting your heart into your hands. We'll close our meditation with 2 collective breaths. Even though we practice in different physical spaces, we can all breathe together. Taking a deep inhale through the nose, opening the mouth and sighing it out. One more deep inhale through the nose, opening the mouth and sighing it out. And then just returning to your normal breath. Taking a moment here to set an intention for the remainder of your practice. Your intention may be connected to our group intention of allow, or it can be anything that speaks to you in this moment that can help guide your practice on the mat and off. And then when you're ready, lifting your head, blinking your eyes open. On the inhale, bringing your arms up and overhead, looking up at your hands. On the exhale, bringing them together at the heart, bringing those hands back down to the heart, bowing. Inhale, arms up and overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands come back down to the heart, bowing down. One more time. Inhale, arms up and overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands down to the heart, bowing down once again and breathing. And then releasing the hands back to the knees. We'll do some seated cat-cows. On the inhale, lifting the heart, pressing the shoulder blades back and together. Exhale, rounding the spine, bowing down. Inhale, pressing the shoulder blades together, opening the heart. Exhale, rounding the spine, bowing the head. One more time. Inhale, lifting the heart, pressing those shoulder blades together. See if you can press the heart a little bit more forward. Exhale, rounding the spine. And then coming back to neutral, using the hands to help the knees lift forward. And then coming into tabletop. So in tabletop, our knees are hip distance apart, directly underneath our hips. Our wrists are directly underneath our shoulders. We have a flat back. And because we've been sitting for a little while, cross-legged potentially, let's just extend that right leg back, pulsing into that right foot. That should feel really nice in that hip. You may want to pulse that knee forward and backwards if that feels good. Just letting go of any tension that might have built up in the hips during meditation. And then when you're ready, bringing that knee back to its position right underneath that right hip. Extending that left leg back, pulsing into that left foot. Maybe bringing that knee forward and back a few times. Just unwinding that hip. My left foot also seems to have fallen asleep, so this is really nice for that as well, in terms of waking up that foot. And then when you're ready, just bringing that right knee back underneath, that left knee back underneath that left hip. And then we're just going to do some cat-cows here as well. So on the inhale, lifting the heart, lifting the head, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding the spine, pressing into the hands. Inhale, lifting the heart, lifting the head, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding the spine. And continue that with your own breath, adding any other movements that feel good for you. You may want to sway the hips from side to side. You may want to move forward and backwards, waking up those wrists. Just doing whatever feels good in your body right now. Allowing yourself to just move in whatever way your body wants to. And then when you're ready, coming back to neutral, back to a flat back. On the inhale, lift, grounding into that left hand, lifting that right arm up and overhead. Exhale, threading that hand between the left hand and the left knee, coming down, extending that left hand up to the top of the mat for a nice shoulder stretch. This should also feel really nice in your hips. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And then slowly walking that left hand back, pressing into that left hand. On the inhale, lifting that right arm up and over one more time. And then bringing that right hand back to center. Let's move to the other side. Inhale with the left arm up and overhead, turning to the left. Exhale, threading that hand down to the earth, bringing that left shoulder down, walking that right hand up to the top of the mat. So you're getting a stretch in both shoulders. And then walking that right hand back, inhaling that left arm back up and overhead one more time. And then bringing that left hand back to meet the right. Couple of cat-cows here, one more time. You want to be gentle with yourself in the morning, giving your body plenty of time to wake up. And then when you're ready, on your inhale, tucking your toes, lifting those hips up and back into our first downward dog of our practice. Pedaling those feet. Walking that dog. You may want to press forward and backwards. Just adding more engagement. Pressing those hips up and back. That's what allows the feet to release. It's not about trying to press the feet down. It's pressing the hips up and back, grounding into those hands. And then taking your feet a little bit wider than your hips, walking your hands back towards the body into a nice, juicy forward fold, bending those knees, allowing that head to release down. Grabbing opposite elbows, swaying from side to side to help you release a little bit more. And then stopping that movement, taking a deep inhale, and then releasing the hands down to the earth on the exhale. And then bringing the hands to the low back, and then on your inhale, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, rolling up to standing. Head is the last thing to come up. Saying hello to your day. Bringing those those feet in so that your hip distance apart, toes are pointing forward. Palms are by your side. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Legs are engaged. Heart is lifted. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward with a flat back, hinging at the hips into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. Walking those hands forward into plank. We're going to take 3 breaths here and feeling that core. We've been working for several weeks now, so you're stronger than you might think you are. Inhale here. Exhale here. Inhale here. Exhale again. One more time. Inhale, deep inhales. Exhale. Inhale. And then release it all down to the mat. Untucking those toes. Making sure those hands are underneath the shoulders. And then on your inhale, lifting the heart for a little cobra. Waking our lower backs up. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, lifting the heart for cobra. A little bit more. Pressing that heart forward. Exhale back down. One more time. Inhale for cobra. Exhale back down. Tucking the toes, pressing back up into plank. And then hips come up and back into downward dog. Making sure that you're pressing into the hands, not just into the feet. And hips are pressing up and back. Walking that dog. And then walking the hands back towards the body into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale with a flat back, reverse swan dive all the way back up to standing. Palms touch, hands come to the heart. So as you know, one of the powerful pieces of yoga is the connection of breath and movement. So we'll do that same flow again, but we'll move with our breath. So we'll be moving a little bit faster. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, walking the hands forward into plank. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lift the heart for cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale, back up to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, walk the hands back to the body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back for halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. Reverse swan dive on the inhale, palms touch, hands come to the heart. 2 breaths here. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. One more time, inhale through the nose, open the mouth and let it all out. So our bodies are nice and warm now, so we'll start our flow a little bit faster and some more variation. So inhale, arms up and overhead. On the exhale, hinging, squatting down at the hips, bending the knees, coming into your chair, releasing the hips down. Arms are strong, staying up and overhead if they can. Otherwise, you can cross your hands across your shoulders. Breathing here, engaging into the feet, feeling the power in the thighs. Arms are strong. Taking a deep inhale here. Exhale, let it all go. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, walking to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. That's lowering halfway and then coming all the way down. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, release back down. Inhale for plank. Exhale, downward dog. Lift the right leg up and behind you. Flexing that right foot to keep those hips level. And then bring that right foot in between the hands. Releasing that left heel down to the mat so that the left toes are pointing to the top left corner of the mat. Finding your balance here. And then when you're ready, inhaling the arms up and overhead, warrior one. Shoulders are relaxing down even though the hands are strong. Arms are engaged. Pressing that right knee out to the right. Pressing back into all 4 corners of the left foot. Taking a deep inhale here. Exhale, release back down. Coming onto the ball of the left foot, stepping the right foot back into plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Lifting the left foot up and behind. Bringing that left foot between the hands. Releasing the right heel down. Adjusting your stance however you need to find your balance. And then when you're ready, inhaling the arms up and overhead. Warrior one on the other side. Making sure that the hips are pointing forward. You may have to bring that, you might need to help that right hip come forward a little bit because it's going to want to lean back. Pressing into all four corners of both feet. Inhaling here. Exhale, release back down. Left foot comes back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Walking the hands back to the feet on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming back to chair. Bending those knees, feeling strong. Taking a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, opening the mouth and sighing it out. And then on your inhale, pressing into the feet so that you come all the way up to standing, palms touch, hands come to the heart. Inhale, arms up and overhead. We're going to do that same thing a little bit faster. Exhale, sitting down into the chair. Inhale here. Exhale, release down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, walking the hands to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, back down. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Lifting the right leg behind you on the inhale. Exhale, sweeping that foot forward in between the hands. Releasing that left heel down. Inhale, coming up for warrior one. Exhale here. One more inhale. Exhale, release back down. Inhale, stepping back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, back down. Plank on the inhale. Downward dog on the exhale. Left leg lifts on the inhale. Left leg comes through between the hands on the exhale. Releasing that right foot down. And then on your inhale, coming up to warrior one on the other side. Exhale here. One more inhale here. Exhale, release back down to the mat. Stepping back to plank on the inhale. Chaturanga on the exhale. Cobra on the inhale. Release down on the exhale. Plank on the inhale. Downward dog on the exhale. Walk the hands back towards the feet on the inhale. Forward fold on the exhale. Halfway lift on the inhale. Fold on the exhale. Arms come wide out all the way overhead on the inhale. Palms touch. Bring them to the heart and breathe. Very good. Very, very good. Look what you did. That was beautiful. Take 2 breaths here. Deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. And this is where if you have a block, you might want to bring it nearby. We're going to move into a combination balancing pose. Hopefully I have enough space behind me. I'm going to move up a little bit so that you guys can see me. So coming into your Tadasana, we're going to do a tree warrior 3 combination. So bring your together at your heart if they're not already there. And then we're going to ground into our left foot and then just moving actually I'll do it forward. Grounding into our left foot, making a little T shape with our right foot, so swiveling those right toes out. And then first just finding our balance here. And then the next step is to come onto the toes of the right foot, right? Continuing to sit long, making sure those hips stay forward, right? So we're not twisting to any side, right? We're pressing that right knee out. And then your next option is either to bring that block and just bring the toes to the block, right? Or you can do the same thing without a block, bringing the bottom of the right foot to the calf. And this, just breathe here. I'm going to turn back to the side for the next part. So this is tree pose, finding your tree. You can stay right here with your hands at your heart, or you can bring your arms up and overhead. You can look straight ahead. You can find a drishti, a point of focus down at the ground. The great thing about balancing poses is that it takes full concentration. Taking a deep inhale here. Exhale, sighing it out. Deep inhale here. Exhale, sighing it out. And then bringing the hands together, keeping that leg where it is, bringing the hands back together at the heart if they were up. And then with control, bringing that knee forward, keeping that leg up as much as you can, continuing to concentrate. And then slowly hinging at the hips as you bring that right leg back for warrior three. Bowing, hinging at the hips to come forward, flexing that foot to keep that hip level. It's perfectly fine to wobble, it's perfectly fine to fall. Just doing the best that you can. You can keep your hands here at your heart. You can bring your hands back like airplane wings. You can bring your arms out as a T, whatever helps you to find your balance. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, sighing it out. And then slowly with control, you can see I'm wobbling too. Bring that right leg back up to center, hugging it into the chest, and then let it down. Shaking it out. Very, very good. Whatever you did, I'm sure it was wonderful because you did it. And you tried, right? That's the most important thing. We have to be open to new experiences. We have to allow ourselves to try something different. Let's move to the other side. Grounding into that right leg this time. We start by pointing those left toes out, right? Finding our balance, making sure our hips stay forward, right? The key for all of these is keeping the hips forward. That's where the engagement comes in, right? And then slowly sliding that heel up the leg. You can stay here. You can use that block on this side as well. And then coming into your full expression of tree, whatever that is for you today. The thing I also love about balancing poses is that because it takes so much concentration, everything else falls away, right? Anything I was thinking about has to go, because if I'm thinking about that, I can't balance. Taking a deep inhale here. Exhale, letting it go. One more time, deep inhale. Opening the mouth and sighing it out. If your hands are up, bring your hands back together at the heart. Bringing that knee forward and then beginning to hinge into your warrior three. So hinging at the hips as that left leg extends back, keeping that foot flexed. That's what's going to help keep the hips level. Keeping that foot, those toes pointed to the earth. It's not about how far down you go, right? Taking an inhale here. Exhale, coming back up slowly, bringing that left knee up, and then releasing that left knee down. Shaking those legs out. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Walking the hands forward into plank. Releasing the knees down to the mat. Swiveling the legs around to come to sit on your bottom. Making sure that you bring your feet, your heels all the way to the top edge of your mat. And then just reclining all the way back to your back as we prepare to close out our practice. Bringing the feet to the mat, bending the knees. Bringing that right ankle to rest on the left knee. Lifting the hips, shifting them about 2 inches to the right, and releasing that right foot all the way down to the earth. You may want to use that left hand to press that left knee away from the body. Right arm comes out to the side, looking over that right shoulder for a nice reclined twisted pigeon. Inhaling that left knee back up, releasing that right foot down to the same side as next to the left, rocking those knees from side to side, and then bringing that left ankle to rest on the right knee, lifting the hips, shifting them about 2 inches to the left, and then letting that left foot come all the way down to the earth on the right side. Once again, you can use that right arm to press that left knee away if that feels good. Bringing that left arm out by your side, looking over that left shoulder, or you could be looking straight up at the sky. And just breathing here. And then inhaling that left knee back up and over, releasing that left foot down by the right, rocking the knees side to side, hugging the knees into the chest, rocking again from side to side. And then releasing those legs all the way down the mat, taking those legs as wide as the mat, palms are by your side facing up, preparing for Shavasana. As always, you're welcome to place a pillow underneath your knees. You're welcome to cover your body with a blanket. We'll take a short rest here. Bringing your attention back into your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes, rotating your wrists and ankles in one direction and then the other. Just bringing movement back into the body, preparing for the day. Hugging the knees into the chest one more time, rocking from side to side, waking up the spine. And then rolling onto your favorite side, making a pillow with your hands, taking one last moment here to remind yourself of the intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. In what ways did you allow beauty into your practice today that can carry off the mat? And then when you're ready, pressing yourself up to an easy seat, whatever easy means for you. If it's comfortable for you, closing the eyes, bringing the hands together at the heart, bowing the head. It has been my honor, as always, to practice with you. May you be happy, may you remain healthy, and may you always know peace. The light in me honors and acknowledges the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me today. I will see you next time. Have a good week.